Hello, my name is Min, and for my CIS-25 final project, I chose to develop a fitness tracker, which is terminal based. So this is all within a terminal. So why did I build a fitness tracker? I wanted to make something that others would find useful, including myself. And since I recently began going to the gym, I wanted a way to track in what workouts I was doing, as well as tracking what nutrients am I taking. So I wanted a private offline tracker for fitness data, unlike the most cloud-based or web-based mobile apps that people would use for this. I also wanted to practice C++ OOP, object-oriented programming, and file I/O, as well as using modern terminal UI, like drawing boxes with Unicode characters and colors. One challenge that I had was needing to support multiple users with their own isolated data that wasn't accessible by another user, as well as making a terminal app look as clean as a web dashboard. So I was initially going to make this with Qt, but it was a bit hard learning the framework and everything, so I just decided to do it in the terminal. So one of the core features is registering and logging in users, and they each get their own persistent local data. So on the right, you can see you're given a main menu where users can register, and when they register, they enter their username or password. And once they create a user, that goes into a file called users.txt, and when you log in and those credentials match, you're able to log into your account and it's successful. So within your account, you can log in workouts, cardio, or nutrition and goals. So each one of these like sections has their own box tables, and I made it look as nice as possible. You're also able to remove any entry, such as your workouts or goals, and update. And this instantly updates any files that contains this data. There's also a calendar view where users can view their progress during the month. If they've been using this for like a year and they just want to see what they did last week, they can use calendar view. This won't really be useful for new users, but for longer users, they'll find this one good to use. So how does a program work? So the startup menu, there's a main menu, and the user can pick either to register as a new user or log in as an existing one. And once they're authenticated, they can select what they want to do. They can log a workout, view any, or edit them. And when logging in, they can enter data via prompts, and these are instantly stored in files. And they can view these files, the info in the files, via tables and Unicode boxes. I used a lot of SCD set width for alignment to make it all line up nice, even if an entry was longer than another. So to edit or remove certain things, they were able to pick a number or ID associated with that specific goal or workout or whatever, and the prompt guide the user through these changes, so it makes it really user friendly. And once these are exits, all changes are saved automatically, so users don't have to worry about auto saving on their own. So some important functions are the run user menu and view progress ones. Run, of course, runs the app, which is in the fitness app class. User menu contains most of the important logistics since it's the main user menu. And view progress is a way for users to view their entire, um, basically all their data. They can see all their workouts, nutrient logs, etc. So in the terminal GUI, I use Unicode box drawings. Here are some examples, and you can see how they're outlined throughout these tables. All columns use SD set width and set precision for perfect alignment, and I made sure that there weren't any problems with that, or else, some of these parts would break off and it wouldn't be complete. So for the colors, I actually use NC escapes. So I use magenta for headers, orange for main menus, green and red for feedback, like the not started in progress. Each table was coded with custom separators and also their own titles. There are no broken lines, even with longer names. They will be cut off if the name is longer than the set width. There are some niche cases where it'll like kind of mess up, but it's pretty hard to force it to do that. You can see there's little alignment issues with the drone workouts, but overall these main borders shouldn't be changed. So users might ask, where does my data go? Each user gets a folder, data slash user slash username, and each user has files corresponding to them, which are workout, goals, nutrition, and cardio. They're all txt files. User credentials. All the user credentials are stored in users.txt. Right now they're plain text, but I can improve it with hashing to make it more secure. And here's an example. So users.txt is right here. Right now there are no active users, so it's going to be empty, but later on I'll show you how it's updated. This is the data folder where your users will be stored. When a new user is created, a new folder will be created here with all those text files in it. So how is data represented? So there's a workout entry struct, goal struct, nutrition entry struct. These are all structs, and whenever users enter data, let's say they want to make a new workout entry, a new struct is created under workout entry, and it's added to a main vector corresponding to the user, and then it's serialized to the file to make sure that the file has that data. So if the user were to exit the program, they'd be able to access it again. And if they want to view their data, the file is parsed from a function, read file, and these structs are loaded from the vector, and the tables are going to be drawn with those Unicode symbols, these ones. So within main, all logic is encapsulated within the fitness app class. So all I need to do is make a new instance for the fitness app and just call run. And because Visual Studio's 2022 terminal is a bit outdated, I had to do set console output cp and run this command, including windows.h, so that these symbols would be properly displayed. So going through the classes, there's a fitness app class, which is the main class, which holds up pointers to users, workout, nutrition, and goal manager. It orchestrates authentication, menu navigation, and basically all user interaction. It's going to be the most complicated and complex class. It passes the data between the UI and domain classes, as well as handling validation, file input and output, like writing and reading from files, as well as making those colorized tables. So some really important methods within Fitness app is run, user menu, log workout, log nutrition, log cardio. These are just all logging. User menu is of course the main menu. View progress displays all the graphs. View calendar displays specific tables based on times. Managing goals allows you to edit goals, add goals, change goal progress. Removing workouts and removing goals allows you to remove those workouts and goals. So this is all within the Fitness app. So there's also a user class, which manages account and data management. So this is what's in charge of storing your username and password and loading that. It handles registration, so when you register as a user, the user class is going to run through that, as well as renaming your user or deleting the user, so you are able to delete your user if you ever wanted to. There are also static methods for credential checking to make sure what you're entering is correct and you're able to log in. Some things inside user class are load user data, which returns file contents as a string, and save user data, which writes data to a file. So this is then communicated to the fitness app, and they can do whatever they want with that string. Workout class will store vectors of workout entry structs. Remember how you made structs for workouts? Well, there's a main vector in workout class, which stores all those structs. And workout class has methods to add, edit, or remove these workouts. To add, you just have to push back to the vector, since it's dynamic. And serialize for user writes to the file under the user. Load to load data, you just have to parse the file and just fill the vector. To remove, you just update the vector. And then you just overwrite the file with the new information. The goal manager class is for tracking goals. Um, as there are goal structs and they store those structs into vectors dynamically. Some important methods are adding goals, marking goals as completed, so you can choose whether or not you want to say I'm done with my goals, or I'm doing my goal right now, or I just want to change or remove my goal. And of course, there's serialize for user and load from user to parse, to write to a file, or get info from a file. And this is all going back to fitness app whenever it needs to be. Nutrition class is, like I said before, a vector. It has a vector of nutrition entry structs, and some methods that I made for this class are add entry, load from user, and serialize for user. I didn't have time to implement as much things as workout and goal had, so nutrition is unable to do specific things, such as adding multiple structs, for now at least. Some important data that nutrition has is date, food, protein, carbs, fat, and calories, so users can enter that. So just a short demo, in the slides at least. I'll do a demo later with the actual terminal. So over here the user is prompted for a date, name, sets, reps, and weight for their workout when they want to log a weight workout. And once they enter that owl, the workout is saved. If it wasn't able to be saved, it'll say that. So once this is made, it creates a struct with this information and it's saved to their user file. And then when they want to display it, they just call your progress and boom, all of that information is right there. Right now the user has no cardio, nutrition, or goals, so that won't appear. So when they want to manage fitness goals, users can add, edit, or remove goals. So there are status colors, which makes it easy for users to see whether or not they're done with the goal. As you can see, the run 10 miles they hadn't started, and then so it's red. But after a while, they said, "Oh, I'm done," so it's green now because it's completed. And goal status is passed as an enumerator, with just not started, in progress, and completed. Just three things. So there's some error handling. So whenever users put in the wrong credentials, it'll show up in red. So users are able to tell something went wrong. If it's green, like login success, they'll be able to see that, oh, I did something right. So feedbacks are color coded via ANSI escapes, which is something that I found really interesting when I learned that those existed. And I always try to put exit everywhere so the user could exit, since I can't just have, like, an X in the corner of the screen for them to exit with. So some limitations that I had was there's no web or mobile interface. It's on the terminal, which is not the greatest. I wasn't able to make charts or graphs, just tables. In the future, I want to implement ways like I can use characters to make charts and graphs. It'll be a little hard to kind of pull the numerical data from the strings, but I could find a way to do that. Also, password storage could be improved with hashing. And for future plans, I want to be able to export data with, maybe SQLite. Password hashing, of course, to make it more secure. More workout types. And a GUI version with Qt once I learn more of that framework. So I'm going to start with a little demo. Uh, so right here, this is main. I'm going to put this to the side. And I also want to show how files are being updated in real time. So right here is users.txt. I'll open that right here, as well as data users. So I'm going to create a new user, entering 1. Let's say the username is Min, and my password is Min123. You can see right away that there's a folder called Min that was created, and this just updated. Users.txt now stores my username and my password, and this can be referenced when I log in. So if I log in, when I log in, I can enter my username. Let's say I put something wrong, like I did 1234. It'll say invalid credentials. So once I'm in, I can choose from a variety of options. Let's say I want to log a week workout. I'm going to select 1, enter workout date. You could just leave it blank and just press enter for today. Let's say I did bench press. I did 4 sets, did 5 reps, and I lifted like 140 pounds. This workout is then saved. As you can see, if I go to min, there's a new workout.txt that's updated, and right here it shows all that information. And this is updated in real time. I can also log cardio. I did running. Let's say I did it for 120 minutes, and I burned 200 calories. I can log nutrition. I ate an apple. I don't know the specific values for this. I'll just say 0, 10, 3, 15. I don't know if that's correct. So you can see everything is stored right here. Cardio, nutrition, all this data. And then last but not least, I can enter 5 and manage goals. So these are my current goals. It's blank because I have nothing. I want to add a goal. My goal will be to run 100 miles. And goals was just created. Right now it's not started because I haven't really started. And if the users want to view all this, they just press 4 and boom, all of this shows up. Nice, clean. You can see the volume of weight I lifted. All this is stored. See, as you can see, since I didn't start it, it's red. If I were to mark the goal as done, it says enter goal number, and number is 1. And I were to view it again, it says completed. And you see how it updated? And if I want to log more weight workouts, I can do that too. Let's say I did pull weighted pull ups. I did 5 sets, 5 reps, which is my body weight plus more weight. So let's just say 150. You can now see this is added on right here with the date and everything. So I can now show you calendar view. Right now everything is within like this current date, so if I put like week, which is the past week or past month, it'll show everything. Oops. But if I were to, like, let's say make a new weight workout, or it was like 2020, 320 sit-ups. I'll just do bench press again. 170. As you can see, this is stored, but as a different date. And if I were to do calendar view and I did week, it doesn't show up because, of course, it's not within the past week. If I were to do custom, I'd be able to see it. So I can also edit workouts. If I want to remove one, let's say I want to remove number 2 and view it again. It's removed. I can can add goals, new goal, and I can see those. Everything is stored. So if a user logged out and exit, as you can see I exited, all this data will be saved, and if I run it again and I log in, it's all saved. We can go back to the file structure. Users.txt holds all this. Into data, users, min is created. If I were to register a new user, like test user, boom, created. And that should also be stored into here. Yep. Now, of course, I can delete users. If I wanted to delete test user, you see their file disappeared. And if I reopen users.txt, they are not there anymore. And if I want to rename myself to test user, it says rename successfully. And as you can see, it was updated. Now, if I was trying to delete a user that didn't exist, it'll tell me that failed to delete user. So it's really user friendly, and it's in red, so they'll know something went wrong. Renaming is the same thing. Failed to rename since that does not exist. So you can kind of understand the file structure and how data is stored within my program. Now I'll just show you like logging in with the new user details. Even after I change my name, it still works. Login successful. All the same data. So I really wanted to use a lot of colors since, a lot of terminal-based applications only use basic white. And since I found out about the escape codes, which I can show you, this fitness app CPP is right here. It's up here. These are all the codes, colors, and styles. So you actually use these specific codes. So like these numbers represent the color. These are like styles. And I just define them to a specific title. So I wouldn't have to retype in these since, it's not something that you should be memorizing since it's not super simple. This is the chart. And whenever I need to use specific colors, I just, put them in right there. One last thing, I'll just delete my user. So you could just, see everything just get deleted. Users.txt is empty. And if I go into my data file, it'll be empty. So for this document, it's a little extra document. It shouldn't exist. If anything, I should be deleting it. I just like to keep it there. But yeah, that's the demo. So in the future, of course, I want to implement this in a Qt because there's only so much you can do within the terminal. You can't really do that much. Users have to type things. Sometimes they want to click, on buttons, and you can make things a lot nicer within a GUI as opposed to the terminal. I really tried my best using the escape codes, but I think I did a great job with it, at least. And yeah, that's it for my project. Thanks for listening.